In this lecture, we are going to discuss in detail the different methods of reproduction in Spirogyra. So as I told you in the last lecture, this Spirogyra can reproduce by two methods. One is the vegetative method and the second is the sexual method. The vegetative reproduction occurs by the fragmentation and the sexual reproduction by the process of conjugation, which can be either scalariform or lateral. Now let us first discuss the process of fragmentation. In fragmentation, the filaments of Spirogyra break into pieces, either due to mechanical injuries or by dissolution of the septum between the adjacent cells. So in this image you can see the tangled filaments of the Spirogyra. In the filaments you can see these distinct cells. So this is one cell and this is another cell. So in fragmentation, the filaments break into pieces, either due to the mechanical injuries or by dissolution of the septum between the adjacent cells. So here you can see one filament and the filament is broken into two pieces. So the filaments may break into pieces either due to mechanical injuries or by dissolution of the septum between the two cells. Now the broken pieces can grow into mature filaments through the process of mitotic cell division. So fragmentation is one of the natural method of multiplication of Spirogyra in nature. Now the next means of reproduction in Spirogyra, that is the sexual reproduction, and sexual reproduction occurs by the process of conjugation. First of all, we will discuss the scalariform conjugation. So in scalariform conjugation, the two filaments of Spirogyra, they lie side by side throughout their length. So here you can see the two filaments. This is one filament and this is another filament, and the two filaments have lined side by side throughout their length. So the first step in scalariform conjugation is the two filaments lie side by side throughout their length. So in this image you can see the two filaments lie side by side throughout their length. After the filaments lie side by side, these two filaments, they get glued into a common mucilage sheath. The common mucilage sheath around these two filaments prevents their separation as long as the process gets completed. Now the next step in scalariform conjugation is, after the filaments have aligned side by side, the individual cells in the filaments, they start sending the protuberances towards one another. So in this image you can see these two filaments aligned side by side, and the cells of the filaments, they start sending protuberances towards one another. Now here you can see this cell has started sending this protuberance, and this cell also started sending this protuberance. Here also you can see this cell has started sending this protuberance and this cell also has started sending this protuberance. So all cells in the two filaments start sending protuberances towards one another. So this is the next step in the conjugation process. The cells in the filament start sending protuberances towards one another. Now in the third step, the protuberances fuse with one another, forming the conjugation channels or conjugation tubes. So here you can see the protuberances meeting one another. So in the third step, the protuberances fuse to form the conjugation channels or conjugation tubes. Now here in this image you can see the protuberances between the cells have fused to form the conjugation channels or conjugation tubes. So because of the formation of the conjugation channels or conjugation tubes, it gives the characteristic ladder-like appearance to the conjugating filaments. So here you can see, because of the formation of these conjugation channels, the conjugating filaments appear ladder-like. That's why the scalariform conjugation is also known as the ladder-like conjugation, because the conjugating filaments appear ladder-like. Now the next step after formation of the conjugation channels. Now after the conjugation channels form, the contents of the cells, they shrink to form the masses. So contents of all cells, they shrink to form masses. So here you can see the cellular contents have shrink to form masses. So this occurs in all cells. The contents shrink to form masses. So this is the next step after formation of the conjugation channels. Now after the cellular contents turn into masses, they behave as gametes. So one of the gamete functions as male gamete and the other gamete as the female gamete. The gamete which functions as the male gamete passes through this conjugation tube and fuses with the female gamete. So fusion of the male gamete with the female gamete results into formation of the zygospore. Now in this next image you can see the male gamete is being passed through this conjugation tube and it is fusing with the female gamete. So fusion of the male gamete with female gamete results into formation of these zygospores. In scalariform conjugation, generally one of the filament functions as the male filament and it produces the male gametes, and the other filament functions as the female filament and it produces the female gametes. So the male gametes are passed through these conjugation tubes and they unite with the female gametes. So as a result, after completion of the gametic transfer, one of the filament becomes empty, and in the other filament we can see the formation of these zygospores. So here also you can see one of the filament has become empty as the filament has transferred its gametes to the female filament. So in the last step we can see one of the filament has become empty and in the other filament we can see the formation of these zygospores. These are some live images taken through the microscope showing the phases of conjugation. So in this image you can see the transfer of the gametes from one cell to another cell. In the next diagram you can see the formation of the zygospores after gametic union.